Hello, it's Peter Riley here again. I'm going to return to a topic which we looked at a short time ago. That's to say, for a student who has to write an essay on a topic that they don't know at all, on a subject that they've, have no familiarity with, what do you do? And the first solution to that was to go and have a look in the search engines on the web and see if we could find articles, texts, and so on. And I thought about this afterwards. It struck me that there's a simpler solution, which is the one we're going to look at now. And that's to say, let's have a look at some video. What can we find if we start to search for video instead of for text? So I share the screen with you like this, and let's see what we can find. Now, the topic that I've been looking at, two topics really, organizational structure and also organizational culture. So I put in the search term organizational structure into YouTube, which is probably the best known and the biggest video platform on the web. And I decided to start by looking at something quite short. Here we go, 4 minutes 50. See what we get when we go into this. I've done this.
In this
before.
video, we're going to talk about organizational structure. We'll cover the classic hierarchy, the team-based organization, and finally the matrix. So let's unpack the details.
So I like this approach. Sounds clear, straightforward, but I have two problems with it. First, that there's a North American accent involved, which is not ideal for students coming to study in England. And furthermore, in American English, especially in an area like business, there are going to be a lot of terms which are particular to America and to North America and not used in English, or not used in the same way. So that could be a problem. Also, this is done by a communication coach, which is not really exactly the area that the area of speciality which I think we need. So I'm going to set that aside and see what else I can find. Now, hopefully, if this decides to come up as I want it. Okay, this is a thing that I found subsequently. Again, very short. So this is the second thing I looked at. Don't know anything about this outfit, tutor to you, but 2 minutes I can afford 2 minutes. Let's see what happens.
Essentially organic.
So I'd already played
Hi
it.
there.
Bring it back to
This is just a short video for AQA A-level business students who, when they're looking at organizational structures, just need to make a distinction between organic and mechanistic structures. So
okay, so A-level business. This is English students who are trying to get to university, studying business in the last years of school. It's English, the accent is English, and we have an author, Jim Riley. All right, let's put the subtitles on as well, and that will make it that much easier for us to understand.
what does this mean? Well, really, it comes down to the type of organization a business is, how it operates, what's the nature of the hierarchy, what's the organizational culture. Is it a fairly chilled out place where the hierarchy, the rules, the methods of communication are pretty informal? Or is it a much more formal, hierarchical, perhaps bureaucratic organization and culture, and a structure that places great emphasis on hierarchy, roles and responsibilities? And that's really the distinction we're making here between organic and mechanistic. So by all means, pause the video and jot down some of these examples if you wish.
Okay, so I'm definitely liking this, and this is quite limited, obviously, and I feel like finding out a bit more. Let's see if I can find something which is not just a kind of mini video. can I find something which is a bit more of an overview, goes into the topic of organizational culture a bit deeper. And I can in fact do that. I've done it already, and I'm bringing it to you here. So we're going to have a look at this. It's the same outfit, tutor to you. I haven't started right at the beginning. I've started at the place where he's just been giving us a view of the topics that he's going to deal with. And this one is about 27 minutes, so it's a bit longer. And I want to show you one or two things from this. Okay.
Just to see how organizational culture has featured in exam questions or recent exam questions. What do we mean by organizational culture? I really like the use of quotes in essays, and this is possibly one of the most memorable quotes and straight to the point as well. Charles Handy, no longer with us unfortunately, but an organizational guru, and he simply said that culture is the way that we do things around here. What he really meant was that every organization does things in their own distinctive way. For example, the way that they organize themselves, the working environment, to consider maybe making reference to and building into your analysis. The first one, quite a common one, certainly in all the textbooks from Charles Handy, which we'll touch on briefly. And then secondly, I just want to refer you to a guy called Ed Schein, who's done an awful lot of work in this area. And he's got an alternative model, which I think is just as powerful. Now, this is the one that you've probably seen in the textbooks already.
Okay, so I'm going to jump forward a bit, and then I'm going to explain what I'm doing with all this jumping. One moment, and I think I'm going to just, yeah, here we go.
Support for culture being a very significant source of advantage. And the one I want to refer you to, and perhaps you might want to make reference to in an essay, is a study by two guys called Collins and Porras. Now,
okay, so you've probably guessed already that what I'm doing is I'm pointing out that in a video like this, which is an educational video, as I explained, for school students, teenagers, already we're getting references to several names, or indeed here an actual book, and these are people who are suitable for academic studies. So we started out just to try and understand something about the topic by watching a couple of videos, and quite quickly we find ourselves able to get access to academic sources which are going to potentially be useful for us. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. Just wrap this up very quickly. So this is an alternative and perhaps even an easier way to access introductory information about an essay topic. Okay, I'd like to go back in a subsequent video and go a little bit more into this process, but I hope I've been able to show you today how to start and the potential possibilities of this method. All right, see you later.